So Sacred Serpent Spiral QiGong. So that was the foundation when I had the dream working with the QiGong and noticed it starting to come around and spiraling up around me. I started to teach it and noticed my dreaming just went off the charts, and the dreams of my students did as well. And so it led to great exploration. So we start off in China. Here is the dragon, a symbol of the Tao. And the Tao can be different things to different people. It could be the higher self. It could be higher mind, universal mind, consciousness, God, spirit, source. Moving to the west, we also have the dragon, the benevolent one as well, with the form of the Ouroboros. And here it is the tail devourer. We see that the dragon is eating its tail, so something is being transformed in a sense. We see the Ouroboros also in the tarot cards very much. And here in the magician card, the serpent biting its tail is around the waist, and showing that the purpose is to work inside with the body. And we see the eternity or the wholeness, ascension related to the energy centers on the head with the infinity sign above him. And the colors of alchemy, the red and the white, are typical like we saw in the Egyptian pictures. This spiral is from 6th century BCE in China. Joseph Campbell, the famous mythologist, speaks about this serpent going 3.5 times, would later emerge into the Kundalini in India. The caduceus, a symbol that came from ancient Greece, from the goddess Iris and the god Hermes. It was the staff. And it also has 2 serpents, but going in about 3.5 turns, rising up. And if you look at that central staff as the body, rising up until the individual who is searching for truth and wisdom gains the wings and enlightenment. Here back in China, we see Nuwa and Fuxi, the original couple, so the representatives of yin and yang, and they spiral up from below the earth, spiral up, and they reach the heavens or the central sun. And we see the colors of alchemy again, the white and the red, and they're helping unify the two. Jacob in the Old Testament here is laying on the earth, his head resting on a stone, and from his dream experience he sees a spiral staircase with angels ascending and descending from the heavens. So heaven here is represented as the sun as well, that eternal golden orb, or representation of illumination. So some other famous alchemists would be Quan Yin, the Buddha of compassion from China and Asia. And here she is pouring down from her vial the poisons of the world. So the state of purification, which is really the basis of alchemy. We are purifying, whether it's ourselves, letting go of those things that are in our way, our obstacles, and transcending and becoming bigger and stronger. Shiva from India is also a personification of the Kundalini, often with the cobra around his neck, that was purifying also the evils of the world he consumed, so that from the milk, the churning of the milk that was going on, again that spiral with a snake in this case, came all the wonderful gifts for humanity, including Ayurvedic medicine and with the cup of ambrosia or elixir of life. Going to Central America, we have Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, and they are the hero saviors who are often depicted with a serpent tail connected down to the earth, and the path of consciousness is what they represent, this rising from the darkness and coming into the light, coming back to the wholeness. And ultimately then gaining the wings, being the plumed serpent, shows that state of transcendence. Ancient Greece and Anatolia, we have temples being a place of spiritual understanding, connection, and the columns that are there are a symbol. They connect the heavens by the ceiling and the ground below for the earth. And here we see often, like in here, the spiral imagery in the column itself. But going to Scotland, Rosslyn Chapel, which is a famous chapel for the Knights Templar, again, the inner Gnostical traditions of finding the light within, we see the spiral here as the apprentice pillar. And the apprentice pillar was a place to gaze on and to get insight just by watching this pillar with vines that are going around in a counterclockwise direction. And interestingly enough, you cannot see it very clearly, but on the ground there are 8 dragons, and the vines, the spiral, come from the dragon. So we are linked not only with the spiral, but the dragon in the west as well. In India, the Naga Kings, these half serpent lower body and upper body deity, representing the karmic wheel. So the turning of the karmic wheel, like the wheel of fortune, can be looked that way. And coming in this example to transcend that, to go beyond one's karma or limitations, to then go to the next plane of existence. And these Naga Kings are often on those temple walls as we enter into sacred space. We see other heroes, like this would be Moses with a staff with the serpent rising up as well. We're going to link a little bit more with the earth here, and here we have Pachamama as the spiral, and also with the rainbow connection. Rainbows also being that medium between heaven and earth. And so Pachamama in the Incan tradition is in the hierarchy, is actually the top of the hierarchy, and the Catholic Church has adopted this because the South Americans were very insistent that we learn through spirituality by being in nature, by having relationship, by learning from our existence here on earth. And then we gain and learn about the transcendental state of non-being, or God. This is a serpent kind of in its winding path here from Ohio, the Ohio Mounds. In Tibet, there is the turning of the wheels, and by doing the Tibetan wheels, the gifts of health and healing, blessings and wisdom are shared and spread out in the wind to humanity. Just like in the maypole dance from Europe, we see the bringing of the spring, of the season that brings abundance and fertility for the community in a joyful way. Going to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, this is the goal of able-bodied Muslims to make this pilgrimage, if they can, if you're able to go there. It's a very sacred experience to then walk around this stone several times. Going to Ireland, in Newgrange, we have this temple marker of kind of entering sacred space with the triple spiral, and this womb, this tomb, believed to be a place where the dead go to be reborn. Going to Glastonbury in England, we see the spiral actually etched into the mound itself, and the Tor here on top, this tower, being believed to be a link with the energy lines of the earth, just like in China would be the Lung Mai or the dragon lines, or currents of the earth that can come up and be accessed for spiritual intention. Here in Celtic, the Celtic Cross showing Jesus, and there are spirals, 4 of them around the heart. There's the Trinity of the spiral shown above the head. Judgment Day in Turkey at the Kora Church, there's the angel above Jesus' head, and he is unrolling a scroll, and in it is the sun and the moon. The symbols of sun being yang, the moon, the yin, and the two in balance, and what this represents in the text is paradise, the entering of paradise. So again, that spiral imagery, it's the same message coming over and over. And Jesus here is shown with this connection of blood or energy flowing down into the earth on Judgment Day, his right hand up, his left hand down, being that bridge between heaven and earth, and being a guide not only for himself but all of mankind. Very similar to this image from the Alchemist text in China, with the alchemist with right hand up, left hand down. It says, below him flows the fountains, cascading down, inducing harmony and immortality in everything it flows upon. It's the same story. Here in Egypt at Kom-Ombo, the temple of Kom-Ombo, is Isis, and she holds, if you can see in her right hand, a staff with the Ankh. And if you look closely, the staff itself is a spiral, and the Ankh being a symbol of life, eternal life. And here, back in the world card, we see a woman dancing, moving, authenticity. She is free like the wind, much like the dream I had at the very beginning. The spiral is draped around her, and she has 4 representatives in the corners, the elements in balance, herself in balance, and with her inner balance is the connection with the world. We heal ourselves, we come back to harmony ourselves, and we clear and improve our relationships, our connections with work. Our life becomes easy. The Taoist path just opens up for a wonderful life.